love it.
I think it's a really great idea.
I
think the fact that it's not going to be something forced on everybody.
Yeah.
I think that is super great because there are going to be people who will not like it, and it won't be a good environment for them. But I think, at least for, sorry if I'm speaking for you, but I think for us in here, I think it would be something we would actually gain a lot from, and like it would be like we'd be able to get our education and then also learn how we can use all of our interests and knowledge for outside of high school. So I think it would be a good part of it.
And I think it would also sort of allow students to focus on what they're interested in more than rather only spend one period a day doing what they're interested in. I mean, you could spend a lot of the day doing that and integrate other things into your interest.
And I think that would be really beneficial for preparing us to like go into college or go out into the workforce because I mean, you know, you think you want to major in one thing and then you take more and more classes and then you realize, oh, that's what this is all about. And then on the other side of that, you are learning what you love and you're doing more with that. And so when you get to college, you're not like, yeah, I love this, but I'm only ever taking 3 classes. It's, yeah, I love this, and here's all my. Not only would you be prepared for college, you'd be a more important contributor to the real world.
I think one of the reasons that people often switch majors in college is because they go into college thinking it's something they really want to do, but they don't because they never really got to get into that. And I think if you got into that in high school, you would have like such a better grasp on whether you actually really want to do this or not. But at the same time, you know, there are people who think they really know what they want to do and they still switch even if they did have that grasp already. So it's kind of a...
The thing I think that is great about when you pitch is that you have the opportunity to go from one area
to change.
Yeah, like because I mean, you could be like.
So I do like the fluidity because when I came here as a freshman, I think I wanted to like, I don't know what I wanted to do, but I was interested in a lot of things. And even now, like I still take languages and I still take science classes, but I mean, I like exploring all of them and I like getting deep into all of them. So I think it could be a huge success or a huge failure, even like as an individual, because sometimes I do things, realize that I hate them, but then I learn from that and then I can like move forward from that. Okay, well I really
She's so smart. Like that collaboration is so innovative. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't think
no one
about
ever
that.
thought.
The STEM and the music coming together to like do something that we wouldn't even think about off the top of our heads. Like people did this.
Yeah, because I
it's a
think
great idea.
Yeah, like one situation, like you're like, what? I don't know how to do it. What? And then like if you get people from who have more knowledge in different areas and more advanced knowledge in other areas, you get their knowledge and then you combine your knowledge and like it just like can make something so much greater. Exactly, it can be like an explosion in your mind and stuff. Perfect. I think it's great.
The things that I've taken, a lot of the courses I've taken, it's been useful information, but we haven't so much been taught how to apply that to anything else. Because we're not looking at it from any other perspective, we can't really use that information. A lot of times you just lose it after the course is over because you don't see the relevance.
Right, yeah.
When the test is over, it's fine.
A happy medium where you have regulation, but not so much oversight and regulation that it would inhibit the creative, collaborative process.
I'll throw this problem out to you. You have paper, you have markers, you can group in a small period, come together as a group. But I want you to collaborate within your own different interests on this challenge.
To understand the problem, you have to actually go there and talk to some of the people that are actually living there.
Field trip?
I don't think you can like figure out how to change something unless you know how the people are utilizing what has to be changed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because if people are using a lot of electricity, we need to figure out where's that going. Like, is that going to their TV or is that going to like a radio to like listen to music, or is it going to like a blender to cook? Like we don't really know.
I think main thing with reducing energy level, I think, would be people aren't going to fundamentally change their behavior.
Yeah.
We can't take away things that they like. So we would somehow, well, we don't have the power to take away things that they like. So somehow we need to make it reduce energy consumption in a way that they would either improve their lives or not, at the very least, not make them any worse.
They wouldn't, or something that they wouldn't notice.
That they wouldn't miss.
Notice
Like
it.
if you switch out your refrigerator, if you switch out your dishwasher, your clothes washer, and your dryer, you've got 4 appliances that use up a lot of energy. But like if you change it and get a new one and get one that's more efficient, you're not even going to notice.
Exactly.
Well, and you're actually probably going to be excited about getting new. So the face of the project wouldn't be, this is how we're going to make you use less energy. This is how we're going to improve your lives by updating your appliances by.
So we have to present.
Guys,
like,
are
I
you
think-
with your mind?
I think what's so
Follow
cool
your
is that like
Yeah.
that goes back to that new school model because it's like if you have people from Kohl's working with people from
Lowe's.
Lowe's,
that's
right.
two totally different things
Different-
coming together to
Exactly.
make something so much
And
better.
that's the thing, like, there can be so many aspects of using.
And I think that one of the major problems with society in general is that industries don't work nearly enough with each other to achieve a goal. I think that industries are kind of isolated and they are looking at it only from their own perspective when they could benefit from working with
Other people.
other companies, with other areas to create something that would benefit everybody.
People like I have like age and race and like people's families like different like family sizes that like is so much better because if you have like energy efficient light bulbs and you put like SpongeBob on them, if a kid sees that they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, SpongeBob like I think an energy fair would be a great idea. I think education is such a big thing. Like if people don't know things they can't do things.
Right.
Yeah.
If
Like-
they, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. If they treated this like as a problem that it was, instead of something that like
Yeah.
or it might be a little expensive. If we treated it like it was a big deal and it was a problem, like if you were addicted to using your energy and like you have to stop before you start, then it would be like you would change the public's perception of this problem.
Yeah,
And you'd actually make people afraid for the future.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize that there are energy shortages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
There really
so
are.
true.
There really are.
People don't realize that.
And relating,
Really cool and solar power and water power. Like I
Yeah.
think all that stuff is
Yeah.
so cool.
if we are gonna split up, that is one group, all like alternative energy, and then some other group could work on like local implementation and education.
I just keep thinking about the whole collaborative thing because like as we were talking, he was saying like something about like art and business because people in art know like what appeals to people, but people in business know what also appeals to people, like what people like to see. Like there are colors that people like to see, but there are things that you can put into these average business people know those types of things.
Yeah.
I think like it's so true. Like collaboration really just goes with innovation. I just think that's so
Science
true.
people aren't very good with like interaction.
I think one of
Kind of two separate arguments. One, or I don't even know if argument is the right word, but you would use statistics, I think, to get across to adults, and you would use pop culture to get to
It's
children.
been fun.
And
like,
Yeah.
then
make it sound fun.
even a third, the young adult, the teens, 20s group, because they are one of the most
Academies would be, you would want to work on things like of your own, like musical things, like how to make like better violins and stuff like that. But it will also be great to, like we were talking about, come together to work on things that involve everyone. You know what I mean? Like when we said, like this affects everybody.
Well, and the thing is like,
Advisement for the team that's building this protocol. What advice would you give to us?
I'd say keep students involved.
Yes.
Like giving feedback.
Keep
with
students
this.
involved.
Because if
Not
something
parents.
is, parents.
Not parents as much because like they're not here.
Well, yeah, like plus they're not here, and some of them are busybodies.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
They don't really know what's best for their kids.
They don't.
try.
They think they.
There's a lot of trying to live through your child.
Yeah.
My high school years weren't great, but yours are going to be the best.
I think another big thing is like listen to them and like if this were to take like get off the ground like weekly or monthly, like do a survey and like see how things are
Yeah.
going. Like if they have like and like really listen to what they're thinking and like because it's something that is easier to adjust because if it's new, it's easier to fix it.
Right.
Before it gets
Yeah.
crappy. You know, like essentially like.
Well, you do want to give them time.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
Yes,
But,
to work.
but I think you have to trust students enough to let them do this, to let them like fly but also to let them say, hey, this isn't working, can we change it just a little bit,
Yeah.
tweak it, or
I think one of the biggest things is having an actual result. Like
Yeah.
if they sit
Oh,
down
yeah.
and they just think, oh, for the next month we're gonna be hypothetically fixing problems.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
we'd
think
go-
we should actually
If
go-
there's actually gonna be
No, that's
like
a
something
good
that they can
Energy night?
see,
Yeah, this is such a letdown. We're
if
not
they
gonna have
work
energy.
for something and see that they accomplished it, like that would be really,
Yeah, like if
that would
it's-
be, like there's no motivation to sit and be like, oh, well, we just spent
Like,
2
make it a
months doing
real
this
project.
and.
That's not gonna happen anyway.
I mean, this energy fair is happening on August 28th.
I'll be at
I'll be at
college.
college.
I think another thing is we need to focus a lot more on grades. I think in today's society we've been so focused on like grades themselves and not we're actually learning. You know, like you get a test back and you failed it. It's not even about what you did wrong. It's about holy crap, I just failed this test.
Right.
You know,
And
I
you
think
just like, and you're just like, oh my gosh, please help me, or like our test makeups.
exactly.
And like, I'll
I
learn the
think-
material
Extra credit.
later.
I think we need to focus more about like what we're actually learning and not like the grades that we're gonna get back.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing about this is we're gonna be applying everything we've been learning.
Yeah.
So like, if it turned out that we had this energy night and it was an epic fail and like nobody came and like we had all these pens and like no one came to take them, like I feel like we should still get credit for like trying.
Trying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't just get a grade for chicken scratch on it.
Yeah.
No offense. Like I mean, it's I think definitely like Colin said, like follow through with these projects. Like if you're even if you're working on you said a project for the entire year, at the end of the year, make the project happen. Like make the energy night happen. Make the
Something.
energy benefit concert
Yeah.
happen. Like I mean,
Light bulb.
And even,
I think like too, like you know, if we did have the energy fair and it failed, no one came, we left with 100 pens. I
we
think
probably were.
part of class, like, or not the class, but part of this time
Figuring out what
should
went
then
wrong.
be, yeah, like,
Yeah.
because so often on tests, I know, like, I just got a test back the other day. I didn't do so great on it. I lost 13 points because I missed a minus sign
Yeah.
in my original formula. Like, okay, I could figure that out. The math is all right, just with the wrong numbers because of the minus sign. Like,
A
you know,
lot
if
of-
you have to go back and figure that out, it helps you learn
Yeah.
more.
A lot of things like in life, I suppose, like are trial and error. Like if something doesn't work, you need to figure out how to fix it.
Yeah.
You can't just give up on it. Like especially if it's something that you end up putting a lot of like work and like thought into. Like don't let it fail. Like
Yeah,
work
I
on
think
it.
that's what the biggest
Oh,
thing
well,
is. I think
Well, and
that's how this would work is if it actually went somewhere. If it was more than just these walls. If it got out and kids could say like, I did that with my friends from like this and that place.
Yeah.
Like that's so cool.
Yeah.
Like look what I did.
Not
I think that like it doesn't just apply for like if the projects we do. I think it actually does apply to the new academy. Like you want to think about starting. Like it's gonna be trial and error. Like it might not make sense at first, and mom kids might be like,
What?
what? And like, but like you, in the end, it's, if you work out the kinks and like just make it work, like it's gonna be something.
I would love to have a part of it.
Yeah, I mean this energy night, August 28th.
we should probably have a plaque for our participation.
I would love to have a part in that academy.
Yeah, I think it's a
So
great
cool.
idea.
I think it's a wonderful idea.